We take a quick listen at some of the best parts of 2020.
But it is a really wonderful technology, and a lot of people forget about how it can be used in an enterprise. So you should never be at a stage where you're home growing some of these sort of messaging systems, or you sort of resort to like using a database table as a queue. What do we log?
Yeah, so fundamentally what you're trying to do here is output enough information that if an issue arises, you're able to troubleshoot it, right? So
as we work with different private equity firms, we're amazed at the number of deals they'll put themselves into and the number of companies they'll evaluate just to pick out the few select ones that'll make it into their portfolio. And
so every other year, the Mergers and Acquisitions Committee of the American Bar Association puts out a number of studies, but one in particular is this, which is the Private Target Deal Point Study.
We use the term mender to collectively describe these people who enjoy working on legacy code. But their counterparts are makers. You've got hackathon.
Yeah, very much kind of if you're familiar with EC2 or just virtualization in general, you kind of choose it, when you start off, you just choose your instance type, right? So then the main thing you're concerned at that point is how much CPU do you want and how much memory do you want.
You can scale down in the same manner. If you've had some load, you say, right, we've got an influx of maybe a huge amount of data that's being imported and there's going through an awful lot of ETL, etc. Spin up some bigger boxes, allow the CPU to take over, and then, okay, I'm coming back now to a smaller writer because, hey, I'm not doing that right anymore. It's going to be mostly reads from here on in. This was a big one. This is 65,000 respondents. I mean, they opened up this one big.
Well, so the first thing to me was, is it me or did they fancy up the HTML, CSS?
well, somebody has spent some money on BI.
Yeah, I mean, because last couple of years, it's looked a little, it sort of looked like the original Google, like a texty, like loaded for speed. This year, they got super fancy, man. I got to tell you.
But now, when you fast forward to today, when we're talking about it being an existential threat, well, it's truly an existential threat and risk for small and mid-sized organizations. The very organization is at stake if they don't invest properly in cybersecurity.
When we go back decades in the past, the value of companies was in the assets. And I think in the digital age right now, you're looking at the value being intangible and still very, very real. So the value is often in the data. That's the gold, or that's the new oil, if you will.
Right, well, this was fun.
As always.
Same
No
time next
surprises.
year?